open and I recognized Frank and his brother talking. I knew I shouldn't listen, but I couldn't help pausing at the top of the stairs. Frank's brother was telling him about a conversation he'd had with Linda earlier that day. He said he'd reminded Linda how lucky she was to have married into a family where everyone had been willing to accept her from day one, no questions asked. He told her that Frank and his sons had opened their home and their hearts to her, and she'd almost destroyed all of that by refusing to extend the same acceptance to me. He said Linda needed to understand that her jealousy wasn't just hurting me, it was damaging her relationships with Frank and her own sons. Frank's voice sounded grateful and a little emotional when he thanked his brother for talking to Linda. He said it helped to have someone else tell her these things, someone she couldn't dismiss as being biased or taking sides. I went to my room feeling like maybe Linda was finally starting to understand what she'd been doing to our family. When October came around, Tom suggested we do a family costume theme for trick-or-treating with Bobby. He threw out a few ideas at dinner, and surprisingly, Linda agreed right away. She even helped us brainstorm costume ideas and went shopping with us to find the pieces we needed. I could tell she was doing it more to make Frank and the boys happy than because she actually wanted to include me, but at least she was making the effort. We ended up going as characters from this old movie Frank loved, and Linda got really into finding the perfect accessories for everyone's costumes. The night of trick-or-treating, we all got dressed up and headed out into the neighborhood. Bobby was excited because this was the first year he got to go out later with the older kids instead of doing the early trick or treating for little kids. We walked from the house to the house, and Bobby's candy bag got heavier and heavier. At one house, a neighbor we'd seen around but didn't really know opened the door and immediately started gushing about our costumes. She said it was so lovely to see a family that got along so well, and that it was especially nice to see a step-family where everyone seemed to genuinely like each other. Linda's smile got really tight and forced, and I could see the muscles in her neck tense up. But she didn't say anything to contradict the neighbor or make some comment about me not really being part of the family. She just thanked the neighbor for the compliment and moved on to the next house. Before Japan, Linda would have found some way to exclude me from that compliment or clarify that I wasn't really her daughter. The fact that she kept quiet felt like progress, even if it was uncomfortable for her. When November rolled around, Frank announced at dinner one night that Thanksgiving was coming up and we needed to start planning the menu. He said that, like always, I'd be helping him cook the turkey since it was our tradition that started before he married Linda. Linda's fork stopped halfway to her mouth, and I saw her face do that thing where she wanted to object but caught herself. She put the fork down and asked if she could make her special stuffing to contribute to the meal. Frank said that would be great, and we spent the rest of dinner dividing up the cooking tasks. Linda took on the stuffing, sweet potatoes, and cranberry sauce, while Frank and I claimed the turkey, gravy, and green beans. Tom and Bobby got assigned to set the table and handle cleanup, which they pretended to complain about but didn't really mind. Thanksgiving morning arrived cold and sunny, and I got up early to help Frank prep